Have you ever heard someone say that life after 80 feels more like survival than truly living? Most people don't say it out loud, but anyone going through this stage knows exactly what that feels like. We tend to think aging comes with wisdom, peace, and slow, gentle mornings. But the truth is aging can bring weak legs, fading memory, and a quiet kind of anxiety you never expected. If you've made it to 80, you've already come a long way. You've worked, raised a family, loved, given, built. But then something happens right around that age when the world begins to shift in ways you can't quite explain. Unless you're living it. You may still recognize yourself in the mirror. The face is familiar. But strength, memory, independence, they begin to fray, like old fabric. And what people rarely talk about is how aging doesn't just test your body, it reaches deep into your emotions, your spirit, and your will to keep going. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's here to open up awareness, to name the feelings many seniors carry but few dare speak aloud. It's to help you mentally and practically prepare for the quiet changes that come after 80. Today, we'll go through 7 hard truths, maybe uncomfortable to hear, but necessary to know about aging after 80. Because when you know what's coming, you're not weaker. You're stronger. You're not pessimistic. You're prepared. Let's begin with the first truth. Truth number 1. Your circle quietly disappears. When you turn 80, your phone rings less, not because people forgot about you, but because many of them are no longer around to call. One of the deepest, quietest griefs of old age is how your familiar world slowly shrinks. Friends pass away. Neighbors move into nursing homes. Family members get caught up in their own lives. Their absence doesn't come with sirens, it fades like a song playing softer and softer until it stops. Tuesday lunches with your old friend? Gone. That voice you heard every Sunday after church? Now only a memory. And the hardest part? No one replaces them. You get older, but the number of people around you grows smaller. And young people, no matter how kind, can't fill the exact hole in your heart. This kind of loss doesn't just mess with your schedule. Cuts deeper. Because loneliness isn't just being alone, it's feeling like you're slowly becoming invisible. You wake up and realize fewer people remember your story. Fewer knew you when you were young. Fewer genuinely care whether you're doing okay. And when those connections fade, you start to wonder, am I still someone who matters? But here's the thing. This is also when you can start planting new seeds. Some seniors volunteer not just to be helpful, but to feel connected. Others find joy in small human moments. Chatting with the clerk at the store, joining a book club at the library. The goal isn't to replace what's been lost, but to keep yourself from drifting alone in silence. If you felt that emptiness, you're not alone. This is one of the most painful transitions of aging. But if you're brave enough to name it and take one small step to reconnect, you've already thrown yourself a lifeline. Because your story isn't over. And someone out there still needs to hear your voice. Truth number 2. Your body starts to quietly rebel. After 80, your body doesn't just get older, it starts negotiating with you. Today, your knees feel fine. Tomorrow, every step makes you wince. What surprises most people isn't the decline itself, but how unpredictable it is. Some nights you sleep like a baby. Other nights, you're up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, heart unsettled. One day, your digestive system's working just fine. The next, it's reacting to foods you've eaten since you were a teenager. Your body changes the rules without warning. And you begin to feel betrayed by the very body that's carried you your whole life. But the exhaustion isn't just from the pain, it's from the uncertainty. The sense that you can't fully count on your own skin. And here's the heartbreaking part. Most people around you don't see it. You still walk. You still fold laundry. You still crack jokes. But they don't know how carefully you plan your day around the few hours your body still works. They don't know you skip meals to avoid digestion issues, or sit down not from laziness but because your legs no longer feel steady. This soft, quiet deterioration doesn't follow a rulebook. One day you feel alive, full of hope. The next, it all vanishes, and you feel older than your age. But this isn't weakness. It's your body doing its best to keep up with everything that used to come naturally. You're still you. But now you need to listen more closely, move more gently, rest more often. And one small thing can help. Build habits. A warm glass of water each morning. a stretch before bed, 10 minutes of sunlight a day. These little rituals send a message to your body. I'm still with you. You're not giving up. You're adapting. That's the quiet strength of aging, not fighting change, but learning to move with it. If this resonates with you, drop a comment with #2, so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and turn on notifications so you won't miss what comes next. Truth number 3, your circle shrinks again and again. One of the hardest parts of life after 80 is realizing your circle keeps getting smaller. At first, you don't really notice. An old friend doesn't call as often. That neighbor who used to join you for morning tea isn't around anymore. And the grandkids who once needed you every day are now wrapped up in their own busy lives. You tell yourself, they're just busy, that's all. But then a whole month goes by. Your birthday gets reduced to a quick text. Holidays and gatherings don't feel as full anymore. You catch yourself replaying old conversations, clinging to memories, because making new ones is getting harder. Aging also pushes you to slowly retreat from social activities. Maybe you've stopped driving at night. Crowds make it hard to hear. Even just getting dressed and stepping out the door takes 3 times the energy it used to. So even when you have the chance to go out, you pause, and more often than not, you choose to stay in. It's a cycle. You see fewer people, so fewer people see you. And gradually, you start to feel invisible. It's not that anyone meant to leave you behind, but being forgotten even unintentionally still hurts. A woman named Sandra, 84, once shared that the loneliest part of her day wasn't being alone. It was realizing no one was expecting a call from her. And the day she missed her usual community gathering, no one even noticed she wasn't there. The truth is, your circle may shrink, but that doesn't mean your life has to fade away with it. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. Just 1 or 2 meaningful relationships. Someone to laugh with, or even just sit beside in comforting silence. Sometimes you'll need to take the first step even if it feels awkward. Write a letter instead of waiting for a call. Say yes to that neighbor's invitation, even if you're not really feeling it. Because simply showing up might be the thread that keeps you tied to the world. Another way to stay connected is by sharing, mentoring young people, volunteering when you can, telling your stories. You might think, no one cares anymore. But the truth is there are people out there, especially younger generations, who need someone like you. Someone to listen to learn from. Getting older doesn't mean you lose your worth. But to let others see that worth, you have to stay present in your own unique way. Because even if your circle grows smaller, your heart is just as big as ever. Truth number 4. The quiet burden of outliving the ones you love. After 80, there's a kind of pain that doesn't always have words. The pain of living longer than the people you loved. And it doesn't happen once, it happens again and again. Like a slow, sorrowful rhythm. You don't just say goodbye to one person. You say goodbye to many. Childhood friends, siblings, even the life partner who once promised to walk with you until the end. It's not just about losing someone, it's the feeling that you're the last one left. The only person who still remembers that joke from the summer of '63. The only one who knows why there's a dent on the garage door. There's no one left to say, remember when? And share that knowing smile. That's a very particular kind of loneliness. Not because no one's around, but because no one remembers what you've lived through. You feel like the last one standing on a stage, staring out at an empty audience where all the familiar faces have already gone home. And sometimes, guilt creeps in even though you've done nothing wrong. That feeling, often called survivor's sorrow, makes you wonder, why am I still here, and they're not? You think about the calls you missed, the I love yous you never got around to saying, the questions only they could have answered. A man named Robert, 87, once said the hardest part of aging wasn't the sore knees or blurry vision, it was still pouring 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and realizing only one of them would be touched. Sometimes, he even hears his late wife's voice, answering questions he never got to ask. But here's what we need to remember. The one who survives is not the weakest. They are the strongest, because they choose to keep going, carrying the weight of memories and still standing tall. You are the keeper of the stories, the one who ensures that the people you loved are not forgotten. You keep them alive through your voice, through your sharing, through your presence. If you're still watching and this resonates with you, leave a comment with #4 so I know you're still here. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We have more heartfelt, meaningful stories to share just for you. Truth number 5. Your independence slowly shrinks even if your mind is sharp. Something strange starts to happen after 80. Even if you're mentally sharp and capable, the people around you start acting like you can't make your own decisions anymore. Freedom, the thing you've had for decades, starts to shrink. Gently, quietly, and often without anyone asking your opinion. First, it's small stuff. Your kids insist on driving you everywhere even though you can still drive. They start asking too many questions. What did you eat? What time did you sleep? Did you take your meds? You know they care. But sometimes that concern crosses the line and becomes control. You're no longer deciding. You're being advised, scheduled, reminded, even when you didn't ask for any of it. That's where the frustration builds. You know your limits. You know what you've been through to earn your independence. But the world around you starts acting like it no longer trusts that. A woman named Joyce, 84, said her daughter began managing nearly every part of her day, from when to walk, what to eat, even what TV show to watch. Joyce understood her daughter meant well, but she still felt like she was being turned into a child. She said, "I haven't lost the ability to care for myself, but people assume I have." This is one of the quiet battles of aging. Holding on to your right to choose in a world that's trying to help by deciding for you. You're not selfish for setting boundaries. You're not difficult for saying, "Thank you, but I can do this myself." That's not stubbornness. That's dignity. Every time you choose what to eat, who to visit, or how to spend your day, you're preserving a piece of who you are. These little choices aren't just preferences. They're proof of identity. And identity shouldn't fade just because of age. Truth number 6. The emotional cost of outliving others. One of the heaviest burdens after 80 isn't back pain. It's not your knees. It's the long, lingering weight of loss. You start to notice it subtly, quietly. That friend who used to call every morning? Gone. The one who always shared holidays with you? Now just a face in an old photo. The phone calls taper off. The laughter around the dinner table fades. Even holidays grow quiet. What's left is a silence you can't quite name. Sadness at this age doesn't crash like waves. It settles like a hum from an old radio. Faint, constant, always there. And gradually you start to feel out of place. No one really knows who you were when you were younger. No one gets your old jokes. No one remembers what you were once, like how you lived, what you loved. You're still here, but it feels like you're drifting through a world that doesn't belong to you anymore. That's a real feeling. But few people talk about it. No one teaches you how to keep living when loss becomes routine. No book explains how to smile when you're carrying so many things that no longer exist. So many choose silence instead. I once spoke with a man named Charles, 87, who told me, "I've been to more funerals in the last 5 years than I can count. And with each one, I felt like another part of my life disappeared with them." Maybe you've felt that too. Not because every loss is devastating, but because each one marks the vanishing of a memory, a chapter in your lived story. Still, there is one thing that can help pull you through. The decision to stay open. Keep finding reasons to smile. Keep talking. Invite someone over for coffee even if they're 30 years younger than you. Staying connected isn't about passing time. It's how your heart stays alive. You don't have to pretend you're not grieving. Don't force yourself to be tough. Just let the sadness walk beside you, but don't let it stop you from moving forward. If you're feeling this right now, don't see it as weakness. You're not alone. And you absolutely deserve to keep living fully even on the quietest days. If you're still here and this resonates, drop a comment with #6 to let me know you're walking this path with me. And if this video feels meaningful to you, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss what comes next. Truth number 7. Facing fragility with grace, not denial. After 80, there's no denying it. You begin to feel your own fragility. Not just in your body, but in the little things. Tying your shoes, getting up from a low chair, holding a hot cup of tea steady. The things that used to come naturally now demand more effort, gentle, persistent effort. And the hardest part isn't realizing you're getting weaker, it's how that weakness shows up unexpectedly. A tiny stumble, a strange ache. Each moment reminds you that your body plays by different rules now. At first, it can make you hesitate. You begin to question, can I still walk alone? Should I still travel? Is it safe to cook a simple meal? So you start organizing your day not by what you want to do, but by what you can do. And slowly, your world gets smaller. The limits feel more real. But here's the truth. Fragility isn't weakness. It's a reminder that you've come a long way. And now it's not about staying young. It's about learning to move slower, with care and with kindness toward yourself. I once met a woman named Nancy, 84. She told me something I'll never forget. I don't mind using a cane. I've walked a long, meaningful road. That cane just proves I'm still going. That mindset? That's real strength. It's not about doing everything you did at 60. It's about acceptance and adaptation. Seniors who admit their limits, who use the tools that help them, who ask for help when needed, they're not giving up. They're protecting their independence with wisdom. They choose where to focus their energy. They let go of what no longer serves them. They don't chase everything, they choose what really matters. And they aren't afraid to ask for help, not out of weakness, but out of understanding. Being connected means going further together. Friend, after 80, life isn't just about whether your body's strong. It's about whether your heart can accept the very real truths about time, about loss, and about limits. No one expects you to pretend everything's fine, because not being okay is perfectly human. But knowing what's ahead, that gives you the power to prepare. To live with intention, not just reaction. You are not a burden. You are not forgotten. You're still here with your laughter, your wisdom, your life story, and that matters now more than ever. Take care of your mind. Don't bury your emotions. If you're lonely, don't fake a smile, but also, don't let it pull you away from the world. Stay curious. Stay open. Don't be afraid to talk about money, but never forget generosity. Choose kindness. And even if your body slows down, you can still move forward with pride. You don't have anything to prove. You just need to live as yourself. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I have a question for you. What did you learn today? And how will you bring that lesson into your everyday life? Leave a comment below. I genuinely want to read every word you share. Your responses are the fuel that keeps me making videos like this for you. And for those who need to know they're not alone. If you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more seniors out there can feel seen, heard, and supported. I'll see you in the next video.